We now turn our attention to golf, PGA Tour, the CJ Cup, the inaugural CJ Cup. The first time it will be held, it's going to be on Jeju Island, South Korea. I think it's the first time a standard PGA event has been held in South Korea. So looking at the market, Justin Thomas 15-2, understandable favourite, winner of the FedEx Cup. Tremendous form, major winner this year. So understandable, 15-2. It's going to be a bit short for us, as anyone knows who follows this channel. Not interested in short prices, we're interested in big prices where there's some value. And I think Justin Thomas at 15-2, there's definitely no value there. Even if he wins, let him win it, because if you have money on it, you'll have to put on a fair amount to get a decent return at short odds like that. But then Jason Day is in at 12-1, reasonable. No value there as far as I'm concerned. Paul Casey 12-1. I've noticed he's been in tremendous form for many weeks. I don't know if he's actually been able to convert that good form into a victory. He's always been a solid ball striker, big hitter, very experienced. 12-1, I think it's on the short side. I think it should be slightly more, even though he's playing well. So there's no value there. Mark Leishman 18-1. Winner recently, someone we support on this channel. 18-1, yep, it's okay. You know, he could be, he should be around that sort of mark, maybe a bit more, I would have thought, so there's no value. Xander Schauffele 20-1, another name I've seen at the top of the leaderboard a lot in the last few weeks, 20-1. Fair enough, but no value. Daniel Berger 22-1. Tony Finau 22-1. We'll get started with Adam Scott at 28-1, the former Masters champion. One of the best swings in the game, very experienced. I think he's capable of more. I think he'll do a lot more in the game before his time is out in his career. And I think it's time he actually kicks on and does a bit more. This is a new season now. I think he'll be looking to actually, I nearly said fulfil his potential. He's a former Masters champion, so to say he hasn't fulfilled his potential is a bit harsh, but he's capable of a lot. He has a great swing. He's very talented, and I would expect him to add to his major haul. So looking at the odds, 28-1. That's the first one I'd come in at. I see Patrick Reed is at 30-1. I think that's reasonable. 28-1 in places. I'm not going to side with him this week, but he is a player that I do like. Very tidy player, very experienced player, Ryder Cup player. He'll be a major winner at some point, I think, but I'm going to look past him this week. Keegan Bradley, 30-1. He achieved a place for us last week in the CIMB Classic at 66-1, so he's in good touch. We got 66-1. He's now down to 30 because he played so well last week. So I'm going to look past it. Even though he's in form, I don't think there's any value there. Pat Perez has been cut to 30-1. Also another winner for us. Nice winner for us last week, 40-1. Pat Perez, as we said, kept it in play, kept it tidy, kept his composure, being an experienced player, and delivered the win. He's slashed to 30-1, which is understandable. Going to look past it on this occasion, despite his good form. I was more comfortable with the 40-1 this week. I think 30-1, bit on the short side. You've got Aniban Lahiri 33-1, Rafa Cabrera Bello 35-1. Someone we backed last week, came tied 10th, so did very well. He's in good touch. 35-1, yep, fair enough. Won't be taking it. Not enough value. Thomas Pieters 35-1. Our next selection will be Gary Woodland at 40-1. We went for him last week, and we're going to stay with him. I think the course suits him. He's a powerful player. New season is another one of these players that needs to fulfil a bit more of his potential. His name is always, people who know about golf will always mention Gary Woodland, but has he won the number of tournaments he should have done? No. Has he got the experience to do so? Yes. It's a new season, 40-1, we'll take it each way. We'll next take in the betting Ian Poulter. He's at 50-1, Ryder Cup player. We don't have to go into Ian Poulter's history, we're all aware of him. He hasn't won a major. He's done reasonably well in his career, I think. Has he got a little bit left in the tank? Most definitely, and at 50-1 I'd like to find out. I think looking at some of the other numbers in there, Kevin Na is 33-1. I think Poulter's got as good a chance as Na to win, and he's out at 50-1, so there's a bit of value. We'll take it as far as I'm concerned. Looking down the list, Charles Schwartzel 45-1. Fair enough. He's a player that he's won a major, so obviously he's always mentioned, but another player that I think he could do more. He's got a great swing, is very experienced. I'm not going to look at him this week. I'm next going to take a look at Emiliano Grillo a 25-year-old Argentine. So talented, so young. Really like his swing and like his game. It's a new season. Hopefully he's raring to go. 60 to 1 relative to other numbers. I think it's juicy, so I'll take it each way. I'll also look to Brian Harman, a winner for us in the past year on this channel. A bit of an unsung hero, as we said of Pat Perez last week, who went on to win. So hopefully that helps Harman this week. Keeps it in play, very tidy. He's not by no means a boomer of the ball, but he's very steady and he's very composed. He's a decent putter as well when he gets going. So we'll take the 70 to 1 on Brian Harman each way. We'll also take James Hahn at 90 to 1. He's a talented player. Could go on to do more in the game. This week in this field, 90 to 1 relative to others is a nice number, so we'll take it. We'll also take Carl Stanley, 66 to 1. He's someone who, I can't remember the name of the tournament. There was a big tournament recently. We backed him and he was leading after the first round. Fell away a little bit after that, but he's got a lovely swing. Another one. There's all these people I'm going for are people that should be raring to go beginning of a new season. They've got a point to prove. I think Stanley can do a lot in the game. 66 to 1, we'll take it each way. We'll also go for someone who finished second in the US Open last year, tied second, I think. He's a big hitter. He's an experienced player. Sometimes surprised at how young he is. He's only 35 years of age, and it's the boomer, JB Holmes. That famous dark glove he often wears on his left hand. He's a powerful player, and because he's so powerful, he can even dial down his swing speed a little bit and look for a little bit more control in his game when he needs to. And I think that's going to help him on a course like this. I think 50 to 1, yeah. I'm not going to say there's a massive amount of value. Maybe it could have been 45 or something, but I think there's a little slither of value there, and someone of his stature and experience could perform in a field like this. So the selections we have for the CJ Cup, we've got Adam Scott 28 to 1, Gary Woodland 40 to 1, Brian Harman 70 to 1, Emiliano Grillo 60 to 1, James Hahn 90 to 1, Ian Poulter 50 to 1, Carl Stanley 66 to 1, and JB Holmes 50 to 1. These are prices at all Betfair Sportsbook. 6 places, a fifth of the odds. If you fancy anyone, please have a comment. Please have your say. Please let us know why you think they'll do well this week. Our goal is to try and find winners. We don't care who finds them. We just want people to put out any opinions they have, any learned opinions they have and reasons, and we can come to our own conclusion as to who we'll actually go for with our own money. So like and subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy the tournament, and I'll see you next time.